Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Movies on Cloud 9, Episode 2. Today we're going to be talking about Finding Dory and the record-breaking weekend that it had. And we're also going to be talking about Suicide and the posters that just came out, and a little bit of Justice League. What's going on behind the set, guys? We'll find out now. And also, we're gonna talk about a movie that I missed when it originally came out, and I actually ended up really enjoying it. So as Joker would say, no, 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 here we go. All right. Okay, all right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome to episode 2 of Movies on Cloud 9. Jean Maldonado here. I'm very excited to come at you one more time. I hope everybody enjoyed the first episode. Like I said, today we're going to start off with Finding Dory. And man, I watched Finding Dory, and if you listen to episode 1, you'll know that I wasn't very excited about Finding Dory, because I just didn't really think that the trailers did very much for me, and I didn't think that it was going to live up to Finding Nemo, as a lot of people probably did. In addition to that, a lot of people were a little worried that Dory was not the type of character to carry a movie on her own, and well, I am here today to humbly say that Finding Dory was awesome. It was just awesome. I really enjoyed it. I laughed so much. It was hilarious, and it was awesome, and it was heartwarming, as Pixar movies usually are. So the movie made $136 million opening weekend, and holy crap. I mean, I thought that it was going to do good. I thought that it was going to be at least 100. Like, I knew it was going to at least make 100. But man, $136 million is a good opening. And in fact, it's such a good opening that it broke record for animated movie. It is now the highest opening animated movie to have ever opened as high. I just think that's awesome. The movie is great, guys. I believe I gave it 4 out of 5 in my review. You can catch my review with my girlfriend at youtube.com/HHMovieReviews. That's his and hers movie reviews. And also, you can follow us on Facebook. Like our page, and stay up to date with anything that we do on there. Okay, so I gave it a 4 out of 5, and because I really enjoyed it. I laughed quite a bit. Some of the characters are really great. I think that's something that Pixar always nails down, like characters in any type of movie. They give us special characters, and the character of Hank was great. The actual what was he? Beluga whale, I believe that he was. He was hilarious. The way that he used his sonar, that was great. And Dory, I was wrong. I'll admit that Dory did carry the movie very well. But also they did it in a very smart way, that she had a lot of supporting characters, and there were a lot of flashbacks to help us connect and stuff like that. So it wasn't a whole lot of the same stuff that we saw in Finding Nemo, but it was a great movie. If you haven't watched it yet, go see it. Because it's definitely worth the watch. I actually also saw Central Intelligence, and if you can imagine which was the weaker of the two films, the box office speaks for itself. I did not like Central Intelligence very much, although The Rock was pretty cool in it. As he is and everything. I'm a big Dwayne Johnson fan. And he did really well, but the movie wasn't that great. The story, the plot was alright, and it was kind of funny. But that's besides the point. We're also going to talk about Suicide Squad and some of the posters that recently came out. Actually, I was looking at the posters, and then I realized that there were like character posters, and then there were 2 like IMAX posters or something like that. And there were some that I found myself really liking. The IMAX posters I thought were pretty cool. There was actually one that had it was like a Suicide Squad title and a cereal bowl type of thing. I thought that was cool. I really liked that. It looks great, and I like that it's like barely fitting in the screen to kind of show us that it's an IMAX and it has to be seen big. So and I actually haven't seen an IMAX movie in a while, so this might be one that if it's really good and if it lives up to my hype, because I am really excited about this movie, then I might go see it in IMAX. On the other poster that is not getting as much love is the one that seems kind of like a mushroom cloud type of, like an explosion type of thing. And then there's all the characters within the mushroom cloud. But yeah, this one's a little much. There's a lot going on in this one with the graphic design and then the characters and the live action with the 2D drawn stuff. It tends to mesh a little bit, to clash, and it just doesn't look all that great. Some of the things look a little bit out of place. But I'm starting to notice that you can't really go wrong with Margot Robbie in a poster, because her Harley Quinn look actually works pretty well with all of these posters. Everybody else, not as much. But the Joker also looks alright. I'm still not a fan of that Joker look, so you're not going to get a whole lot from me on that one. The other posters that came out that were, that were part of the new posters for Suicide Squad were some of the character posters, and they're all like we're being bad or whatever. I don't know what the title line is for this movie, but again, the Harley Quinn one looks pretty cool, but it's just because it matches her look. The colors of her actual character design looks cool with the posters and the 2D animation in the back. It looks cool. The Joker now looks a little odd. I mean, I like the ha 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 everywhere, and it says Joker and Suicide Squad, but it looks like a bad cereal box, and I'm just not feeling it very much. Then you have Deadshot, and Deadshot doesn't look as bad as everything else, but there's like the little smoke cloud coming out of the gun, and that's actually like 2D drawn on top of him, and these aren't great, guys. These just aren't great. If you want to take a look for yourself for these posters, maybe I'll put them up on the page, on the HH Movie Reviews Facebook page, so you guys can take a look at it. But I'm not loving these very much. Then we move on to some of the other ones, which is like a Boomerang. I like the color scheme for Boomerang. And this one doesn't look as bad, but then Amanda Waller, I do not like it. Enchantress, I do not like it very much. None of these really work as much as a Harley Quinn one does. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys like these new posters? Do you think their marketing has been good so far? Going that fun route, like how do you feel about this? Like, are you excited about seeing the movie? Like I am, but are you a little taken aback by some of the marketing? Like, is it getting a little goofy for you? Let me know in the comments. It'll be cool to know what you guys are thinking about that. So, we're moving on to Justice League. Justice League has been getting a little bit of, how can I say this? People are concerned. fans are concerned because Batman vs. Superman, BVS, was not as good as we wanted it to be. And, some people like it. Some people, I'm not sure anybody loves it. There's people that like it, and there's people that don't. And there's people that hate it. But I thought the movie was actually all right, but it was leaning more towards the bad than the good. There were several things in there that I really enjoyed, but for the most part, I thought it was a little sloppy and it was too forced. But that's besides the point here. Justice League, the word, that the concerns have been that, with BVS being the way that it was, should we be concerned about the Justice League? And I get it. I get it. But it seems that they allowed press on the set, and there has been a couple of interviews and such in regards to the movie, and Snyder has been talking about the direction that they're going with in the movie and stuff like that, that they're actually saying, that it's going to be much different than BVS. It's just not going to have the same tone. And he actually goes on to say, I think I'm obsessed with tones in the movies. Tones have always... I'm sorry, I scrolled way too far here. Tone has always been the main thing that I go after with a movie. And I really wanted the tone of the 3 movies to be different chapters and not be the same note that you strike. Like, okay, there's this again. I really wanted that. I do believe that since Batman v Superman came out and we wrapped our heads around what Justice League would be, I do think that the tone has, because of what the fans have said and how the movie was received by some, is that we have kind of put the screws to what we thought the tone would be and crushed it that little bit further. So, basically that this is good. This is good news for me personally, because if they're seeing what the the overall word was on BVS, and they're taking that the fans are saying, I like that they're putting it into play. However, I don't. There's a part of me that's a little bit concerned in the fact that if you're just reacting to how we felt about one movie, like, is this one also going to be bad, and then you're just going to react to that one also? Like, I don't want everything to be reactionary. I want you guys to get your heads together and come up with good movies, good script, and just nail it and just get it on the first try. I mean, that's not always going to happen, but it's just like, it worries me a little bit, but it also, I'm actually glad to hear these comments from Snyder, because of the fact that, okay, so you're taking the word and the way that the BVS was received, and you're putting that into Justice League, and that can't be anything but good, if you ask me, because if they do the same thing they did in BVS, it wasn't going to be that great. So if we're going in a different direction, then I'm happy about that. So there's also there were also some logos and stuff that were released for the Justice League, and I actually looked up some, and they looked pretty cool. The one that I'm not very convinced about still is the Batman one. It looks like a fat bat, like a silhouette of a fat bat. Like, his head is barely sticking out, and then, like, the wings are just, like, huge. And, like, I bet, like, if you took that silhouette and you drew, like, a body in the silhouette, it would just be a fat bat. And I don't know, I'm not too fond of the design. So, I mean, other than that, the Justice League one, I like the Green Lantern one. It looks just like the comics. That's cool. And the Flash one was cool. I like the Aquaman that looks like like an A, but it looks like a boomerang. That's pretty cool. Cyborg is alright, and Wonder Woman one's is badass, and the Justice League one's cool. So, yeah, so that's awesome. Then we're going to be moving on to, let me get a drink here. The last thing here that I wanted to talk about was a movie that I just happened to see last night with my girlfriend, and we originally missed this movie when it came out back in 2014, and this movie is not like a movie that went unrecognized. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't like a movie that I just picked up out of somewhere, that and nobody's ever heard it. This movie was actually one of the critically acclaimed movies, and I actually ended up really, really liking this movie. To take you out of suspense, the movie is Whiplash. This movie came out in 2014, and holy crap, this movie was so great. If you have not seen this movie, please watch it. It's currently on Stars On Demand, so you can watch it on there or by any other means that you watch movies, Redbox it or whatever. Man, I really enjoyed this movie. I had really no idea what I was getting into going into this film, but I really enjoyed it, and it was so nicely paced, the way that it kept going. I was never bored. I was, I never found myself just sitting there like, all right, let's move along. It was nothing like that, and it was just super enjoyable. It was intense. Guys, this is a movie to watch because it was just so good. It was so good. The performances in this movie by both J.K. Simmons, that plays Fletcher, the teacher of the jazz band or group in the school. J.K. Simmons was so good in this movie. Like, you didn't know how to pin him down. You didn't know what the hell was happening. And, man, this guy is going to make you love him, and he's going to make you hate him, and then love him again and hate him all over again, and you're just not going to know where to go with this guy. But besides that, Miles Teller, that you will probably remember as Mr. Fantastic in Fantastic Four, that movie that should not be mentioned. You probably remember him as that. Miles Teller, he did a really good job playing this role. I'm not sure if he had to learn how to play drums to get this role, or he originally knew how to play drums, and that was one of the requirements to play this role. But man, he convinced me that he can play drums. He was really good. His performance that he portrayed, Andrew, was really well done. It was like kind of like a hard-headed kid that wanted to be great at playing drums, and would stop at nothing to do so. And that's kind of what the movie was about, with J.K. Simmons, Fletcher, being the teacher, but being kind of a hard-ass teacher. So with that said, it's not an easy type of thing for him to achieve, for Andrew to achieve. And by the end of the movie, you're like, yeah, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I mean, this movie came out a couple years ago, but I still don't want to spoil it for those people that haven't watched it as like I did until last night. I'm not going to spoil the movie for you. So I'll just say that this movie was freaking great. I think I'm going to give that movie about a 4.5 out of 5, just because I really, really enjoyed that movie. So, guys, I am out of here for now. I'm going to be... Okay, there's something that I want to tell you guys. I don't know what the date is going to be, but I might have a special guest coming on the show for you guys. And it's going to be fun interviewing this guest. So, just stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't already done so to the show. You can listen to it on Stitcher. You can listen to it on iTunes, on YouTube. And just stay up to date with the show. Because we're going to have a couple of really cool things for you guys coming up soon. So that I'm really excited about that interview, and I hope that we can get that going sometime soon, because I can't wait. It's just a matter of scheduling. A matter of scheduling with that person and with me. So thank you guys for listening. You can find me on social media on 9 Letter Studios. That's my company. Sorry. At Cloud9 Podcast. So follow me and stay up to date.